In 1776, the founding fathers signed a document that will forever reshape a nation, the Declaration of Independence. At its core was a single idea, one that will echo throughout centuries of American history, that all men are created equal. For millions of Americans, those words did not immediately translate into freedom. Instead, they became a challenge, one that would fuel centuries of resistance. And now, as America approaches its 250th anniversary, we reflect on how that promise inspired generations to demand their rightful equality, to stand up for themselves, and to fight for what is right. If equality was a truly universal right, then the question quickly followed. From the Declaration of Independence, when it stated all men are created equal, who did all really include?
Is that why you believe women should have the right to vote?
Oh, I believe that women already possess the right to vote. You can understand that by looking at the founding documents of our republic. The Declaration of Independence rightly asserts that we are all created equal and endowed by our Creator with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Furthermore, it states that whenever any government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute a new government as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness.
Over the last 250 years of American history, women's rights and political standing have changed dramatically, expanding throughout decades of struggle and reform. In early America, women were viewed as subordinate to men, denied legal rights, excluded from political participation, and confined largely to domestic roles. Under the law, they were not recognized as independent individuals, but as extensions of their husbands. That reality was first openly challenged in 1848 at the Seneca Falls Convention in New York, the nation's first organized gathering dedicated to women's rights. Led by Elizabeth Cady Stanton and other reformers, the convention addressed the social, civil, and religious inequalities faced by women. From this meeting emerged the Declaration of Sentiments, a bold document modeled after the Declaration of Independence, demanding that America should live up to its founding ideas.
The question becomes, have we achieved the dream? And the reality is absolutely not.
In 1776, the Declaration of Independence was signed, shaping the foundation of the United States. It introduced the idea that all men are created equal, a belief that would influence the nation for generations. However, from the very beginning, this promise did not apply to everyone. As the country grew, many Americans faced segregation, discrimination, and unequal treatment. Over time, people began to speak out, protest, and demand the rights they were denied. These movements challenged the nation to live up to its ideals and pushed America closer to the equality it claimed to stand for. One example was redlining, a government-backed practice that denied Black Americans access to home loans based on where they lived. Starting in the 1930s, neighborhoods with large Black populations were labeled as high risk, making it nearly impossible for families to buy homes or build generational wealth.
America that takes up Dr. King's mantle of leadership and marches on that mall in Washington, whether it's for jobs and justice or for educational and economic opportunity, for action to reform our criminal justice system, or to stem gun violence. To this day, as we celebrate a man and a movement that did so much for this country, we should draw strength from those earlier struggles and from the marchers of today. We should hold fast to our oldest and most cherished belief that we, the people, hold the power to continually remake this nation to more closely align with our highest ideals.
Key moment was the March on Washington in 1963, where over 250,000 Americans gathered to demand equal rights. Standing in the front of the Lincoln Memorial, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. reminded the nation that the Declaration of Independence was a promise still to be fulfilled. Although these practices didn't directly violate the language of Declaration, they contradicted its core values of equality, representation, and consent of the governed. For many Americans, freedom was a concept in theory, but not in practice.
Okay, could you state your name and occupation, please?
Dr. Brown, social studies teacher, Columbus High School.
What happens when civil rights are not protected?
Well, people's rights are violated. People are abused by governments, be it states or at the federal level. So those things you'll see happen repeatedly throughout history.
How does civil rights connect to the Declaration of Independence?
That could be a very long answer, but we'll keep it short and simple. The part most referenced would be all men created equal. That is often referenced throughout history. It was done so by MLK, it was done by Lincoln in his Gettysburg Address. I could go on about that, but that there is, it's a go-to for almost every movement.
How does civil rights also connect to other major documents like the Constitution?
The Constitution was ratified for the purpose, or the intended purpose, we should say, of protecting people's rights, liberty, property, etc. So I would say that it kind of built on the Declaration.